Hello my lovelies, welcome back to my channel. This is of course your girl Angel from Simply Angel Tiah, and as you can see here, today we're going to be working on this bad boy. I wanted to show you guys how to do some simple projects that you can do, especially with Christmas right around the corner. If you guys want looking to do some projects to give as gifts, to donate, to do whatever you want to do with it, I just thought I would do some simple things like this. So this is a nice hairband or headband that I made, or ear warmer. I live in a very cold climate, so these time of the year, and it's gonna get worse, these are going to be best friends for those who want to spend an extended time of period of time outside, or even if you're just going out for a little bit. It's always good to protect your ears because you can get frostbite so easily. So I'm going to be showing you guys today how to crochet these headband slash ear warmer. What else am I gonna say? Yeah, I'm going to show you all the things that I'm using, like the crochet hook size, the yarn and all of that. But what I also do pretty much all the time is I put all this information in the description box below, so on each video. So obviously that is much easier, because if people ask me like months later what is the size of this I use for this video, it's usually not, I don't remember that easily. So I do that to be able to remind myself as well, and if somebody asks, I can just direct them to the description box of the video and they will be able to get all the information from there. So all that to say, make sure you check out the description box, because you will be able to see that I have pretty much detailed all the materials that I used. Also in the description box, I have my other social media handles. I have my Facebook handle there, my Twitter, my Instagram, and I think what else? I think I will be creating a TikTok account soon, and I will also be adding that handle in the description box below. So check out my my other handles. I am mostly on Instagram, so if you guys are looking to show me some of the things that you've created using my videos, you can always tag me on Instagram, because obviously here on YouTube you cannot show me what you've done. So that is a great place to just kind of tag me on what you have done using my tutorials. Okay, all right, let me not ramble too much. Let's go ahead and get started. Okay, all right. Okay, my lovely, so before we get started, I'm going to show you all the materials that I used for this project. And as usual, you can obviously use any yarn of your liking, any color of your liking, or anything like that. So I'm just going to be showing you simply what I'm using. Okay, all right, now with that disclaimer out of the way, I'm going to talk to you about this yarn really quickly. It's another one of my favorite. This is Craftsmart Value TM Tweed, and all your measurement units are right here. As you can see, this is important because that way you can know what how much yarn to get for the project. And the color is called mustard. You have used this before, so you guys will probably recognize this. It's a medium weight, number 4. Recommended hook size is 5.5 millimeter crochet hook, or I9 US. It is a 97% acrylic and 3% viscose. I don't know what that is, but it is what it is. Okay, so that is what we're using for this. For a crochet hook, I am using what is recommended, which is the 5.5 millimeter crochet hook, or I9 US. I'm going to be using a scissors to cut my strands. I have a darning needle to be able to join my headband together, and of course, an option for me, or optional item for me, is a tape measure, and this is necessary for you if you don't know how to measure the headband that you're making. Make sure you have a tape measure. I tend to use the size that has inches. The other opposite side is centimeters. But in inches, for example, my circumference of the head, or the circumference of my head, is usually about 21 inches. And depending on what the pattern I'm using is, I would either do it at 21 inches or a little bit smaller if it's a material that stretches. So usually between 18 and 20 if it's a material that stretches. Okay, and of course this is important, especially if you're making it for someone else and you want to make sure it fits the person. Then make sure you get the circumference of their head to be able to know what the size is that you're making for them. Okay, all right, so that's pretty much everything for this. Let's go ahead and get started. Okay, my lovelies, so we're gonna go ahead and get started with this project. And as you can see, I'm leaving a tail a little bit longer, and the reason for that is I'm gonna be using it to join our project together at the end. But we're going to start off by doing a foundation chain. And to do a foundation chain, we're going to start with a slip knot. And this is how I do my slip knot. I pinch it right here. First of all, this is obviously something new for probably those of you who are new to my channel. So I do tend to, well, actually not tend to, but I put the yarn, I wind the yarn on my finger like that. It controls the tension. It makes me do even stitches. So I will pinch the one that is coming from my finger. I pinch it where I want it to start. And then I take the tail that is hanging, I wrap it around my finger. It creates this X behind my thumb here. I pinch it with my middle finger to hold it tight. I slip it off my thumb. I put my crochet hook there. I take the piece that is coming from my index finger. I go underneath, I yarn over, I bring it through the loop. I let go and I create my slip knot. So obviously do this however you usually do your slip knots. I'm just showing you guys how I do it. And if you're new and you don't know how to do a slip knot at all, then this can always be an option for you to try. But obviously do it the easiest that you can do it, okay? All right, so we're going to start a foundation chain for this. And this is going to be for the length. So we're going to be working along the head of the band of the along the length of the headband. So we're going to be creating a chain that is long enough to be able to wrap around your head for your headband. Okay, so we're going to do, I'm going to do a chain of 70. Okay, so I'm going to start with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so I have gone ahead and done my 70 chains here. So as you can see, that is the length for my headband. And when we join the headband eventually at the end, this will be the circumference of my head here. And as you can see, it's quite stretchy as well. Okay. Now I'm going to add one more chain here, which is going to be my turning chain. Okay. And I'm going to flip my work this way so I can work back down the chain. And I'm going to skip that chain that I just created. So the 71st chain, I'm going to skip that. And in the next one, I'm going to go in the back of that and do my single crochet in the back of the chain. Okay, so I'm going to show you. This is the back of the chain here. As you can see, there's these little lumps that I usually call a bridge or bridges. And then on this side, you have the V's, which is the front. And so you're going to flip it pretty much. So you're exposing those bridges on the back. And you're going to pick up each one of them and do a single crochet. Go into the next one, pick it up and do a single crochet. And go to the next one, pick it up and do a single crochet. And of course, you're going to do this all the way to the end of the chain. So go ahead and do that when you get to the end. Come back to the video and I will go ahead and show you guys how to start the second row. Okay, so see you guys in a bit. Okay, my lovelies, so I have gone ahead and completed my single crochet stitch in the back of the chain, the foundation chain. And as you can see, this is how that first row looks like. Okay, so there you go. Okay, so, and if you count your stitches, by the way, you should have 70 stitches altogether. We had 71 to start. We skipped the first one when we were going back that way, and or when we're going back these down this way, and that should leave us with 70 stitches. Okay, or whatever number that you did, it should be one less than the odd number that you had at the beginning. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and show you how to start the second row. And with that second row, we're going to start with a chain 1, turn our work. Okay, and when we turn our work, we're going to do a row of double crochet. but we're not going in the back. We're just gonna go through both of these stitches, both of these loops on each of the stitch. Okay, so we're going to start with this very first one. We're going to yarn over, go into that first stitch, bring it back, yarn over, go through the first two, yarn over, go through the final two. And by the way, if you see these like different colors here, it's just the way the yarn is. Okay, so it has like these little chunks of different colors that go in. I think it makes it looks really nice. I don't know about you, but they're also easy to pull off. So I've been able to pull some of these off. If they see them hanging too much and they look like fluff, I pull them off. But just having that discoloration in the yarn like that, I think I find it really nice. Anyways, side note, it's not that it's dirty or anything, it's because of the way the yarn comes. Okay, and then I'm gonna go yarn over again, go into the next stitch again, going through both loops and do my single double crochet. And in the next, I'm gonna do the same, do a double crochet. And again, this is what you're going to continue to do until you get to the end of this row. Okay, so just continuing to do this row of double crochet, and when you get to the end, when you have one stitch left at the end, come back to the video. I will show you how to finish that last one off, and then I'm going to show you guys how to start row 3 and then eventually row 4. So this is pretty much a four row repeat. So I'm gonna show you all 4 rows, and then I'll have you repeat it until you get the length of the headband that you're looking for, the ear warmers that you're looking for. Okay, all right, so go ahead and complete this and meet me when you get back to the end. Okay, my lovelies, so I have one more stitch here of the double crochet stitch to do, which I'm gonna show you to do right now. The reason I wanted you to come back is because I want you to do that final stitch. It's often very easy to forget, especially for beginners, and then you have your work a little bit crooked on the end. So there you go, we just finished that off, and so this is what you will have. Okay, so this is about 21 inches, which is the circumference of my head. Okay, so I'm making this one a tiny bit bigger because when I wear my braids, sometimes I need headbands that are a little bit bigger. And so this one, even though it stretches, I actually did it at the 21 inches. That is the circumference of my head. And then with the stretch, it's going to make it a little bit bigger than that. Okay. All right. So I'm going to start the third row, and I'm going to do a chain 1, turn my work. And in this row, we're going to do another row of the single crochet stitch in both loops, just like that. Okay, so again, if you look at what I'm doing here, I'm just going right into the next stitch, going through both loops like that, yarning over and going through both loops. And I'm going to again do this to the end. And when I get to the end, meet me there, and I'm going to show you guys how to start the 4th row, and that's going to be the final repeat row. So what we have done so far plus the next row is going to be the repeat rows for this. Okay, so go ahead and do that. When you get to the end, come back. Okay guys, so I'm at the end again here. So I'm again coming back to show you guys how to do the final stitch of the single crochet here, because again, for most beginners, they tend to think this is the end, and that's pretty much how your work would look like if you stop there. So I am here to show you that there's one more stitch in here that you need to go into and finish that off, and it makes your work straight. Okay, I know it's a little bit annoying to show you guys these small things, but I have had people message me and saying that they did it and there was a little bit of deformity to their work, and I just want to make sure that I explain everything properly. Okay, all right, so we're going to start our 4th row, and to do so, I'm going to do a chain of 1 and turn. Okay, and then when I turn, I'm going to do a single crochet in this very first stitch right here. Okay, hopefully you can see that. I'm going to do a single crochet stitch. Okay, and then this is where things change a little bit. We're going to do a front post every other stitch. Okay, so to do a front post, for those of you who don't know, So we have our last row of the double crochet here, which is not this row but the one previous, and we're going to be picking up those some of these double crochet stitches by doing the front post on them. So again, this is the chain one that we did, and then we followed by doing a double crochet. And so we're going to yarn over and we're going to do a front post right where that first double crochet stitch is, and then we're going to do that. Okay, and we're going to skip this stitch that is right underneath. In this next one, we're going to do a single crochet. Okay, so I hope you're following here. And then in this next, so again, look at this, there's a double crochet stitch right here, we're skipping that. In this next one, we're going to do a front post just like that. Make sure you pull to make sure it goes all the way higher, and do your front post there. So your front post is pretty much a double crochet stitch, but you're taking the front of the previous stitch or whatever the case is. That's why we call it a front post, but it's pretty much a glorified double crochet stitch, just going into a different position than the normal. Okay, so again, we're not going into that stitch right here. In this next one, we're going to do a single crochet, and then we're skipping that because that's where our single crochet stitch is. In the next one, we do our front post just like that. I hope you guys are following, so you will see that it's creating this pattern here. Let me just try to zoom into this work here properly. That way it's clear. I hope it is. I don't know if it is, but anyways, I feel like it's a little bit blurry, but my settings are a little bit off. And when I record, especially at night, and I'm using artificial light, so it's not good. But yeah, so you're just going to continue to do this all the way to the end, and make sure you're skipping a double crochet that is going to have these showing these gaps. If you go into this double crochet here to do your front post right here, you're not going to have these little gaps that you have in between them like this. So make sure you're doing that, and then you do your single crochet and then front post in that next double crochet from 2 rows ago, and then your single crochet in that the next stitch after that, or you skip one and the next one after that, you do a single crochet and then a front post. And you're going to do this all the way to the end. Okay, so as you can see, I'm showing you how to do just that portion of it there. So go all the way to the end. When you get to the end, come back and I will show you how to start the next row, which is going to be your repeat row, and I'm going to have you guys then complete your work from there. Okay, so that is how you're going to do this. And when you get to the end here, when you have finished your final front post, no matter how many stitches you have left there, come back. I will show you how to finish it off. Sometimes it may be off a little bit, sometimes it may be just right on point, but just come back and I will show you how to do the final stitch and then start our next row. Okay, so see you guys in a bit. Okay, my lovelies, so I have gone to the end of this 4th row here. So as you can see, I did my front post right there, and then I did my single crochet stitch right here. As you can see from the previous row, I have 3 double crochets to go. So I'm gonna skip this one just like we've been doing, and then I'm gonna do my front post in this second last one right here. Okay, so I do my front post, and then I have a final single crochet to do in the final stitch here. I'm just gonna go right into that final stitch and do my single crochet. Okay, so that's how my work ends, and this is the same as this side right here. Okay, all right, so we're going to start a repeat row, and this is where I will probably leave you to build up your work. So I'm going to then repeat. So if you remember, after our foundation chain right here, we did a single crochet stitch row, and then we did a double crochet row, and then we did a single crochet row, and then our post front post row. Okay, so those are the 4 that you're going to repeat here next. So I'm going to chain 1, turn my work, okay, and then I'm going to start this row of single crochet stitches, and this is the first stitch that I'm going to go into right here to do my single crochet. And then I'm just gonna go into every single stitch across the row and do single crochet stitches, okay? And then when we get to the end, you're going to go ahead and do a chain one, turn your work, do a row of double crochet. When you finish that row, chain one, turn your work, do a row of single crochet, and then turn your work, chain one, turn your work, do a row of the front post stitch. Okay, so that is the order that you're going to be doing. So again, single crochet stitch, which is what we're doing, is that that row. So a row of single crochet stitch, a row of double crochet stitch, a row of single crochet stitch again, and then a fourth row of the post stitch. And then when you get to the end, you can either decide then and there that you have the width of the headband that you're looking for, or you can add another set of 4, which is another repeat row, to get to the next length. Okay, so it's up to you, but what I will do is I will do the next set of repeat here, which is what I've just started, and when I get to the end, I will come back to see if I do need to do another set. So that would mean I add another size of that. It will probably bring me to like up to here. So we'll see, that may be enough, but if it's not, then we can do another row, another set. Okay, so go ahead and complete these 4 rows. So we just started our first, and then the next 3, and then come back to the video when you have that done. Okay, so see you guys in a bit. Okay, my lovelies, so I have completed another set of the 4 row repeat here. So altogether I have 8 rows, and as you can see, I mean, you could probably stop here if you're looking to do a headband that is a little bit narrower than usual. So if I measure these right now, it's about 3, let me just move these here. It's about 3 inches, a little bit over, less than 3 actually. It's like a little bit 2 3/4. Okay, so it's not big enough. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to repeat another set of the 4 rows that we just completed to make it a little bit wider. Okay, so as you can see here, if you just stop after doing your front post stitch or row, your front post stitch row, you will see that it ends like this, but we're gonna want it to end like this. So after we finish our 4 rows of the single crochet row, the double crochet row, the single crochet row, the post stitch, the front post stitch row, then we're going to finish it up with a row of single crochet, and that way it ends like this. So what I'm gonna actually end up doing here is I'm going to do 5 rows total, which is going to be a single crochet row, and then a double crochet row, and then another single crochet row, and then a front post crochet row, and then finish it up with another single crochet row. Okay, so that's what I'm gonna do. It's going to increase my band just a little bit by that much. So my band is going to go pretty much like up to somewhere here, and so it's gonna be more like this. So that's gonna be the wideness of it. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and do that, and then when I have all the next 5 rows completed, I'm going to come back so we can actually join. Now, one thing that you should see here, it's not very clear on here. I think I will take pictures and it will look a lot better, but the front post pattern looks really nice. It's unfortunate that it doesn't look like that, but I will show you the pictures. And this side is gonna look more flatter. So as you can see, it looks more flat. This side is more defined, it has more detail. So obviously this is going to be the front of our band. So we're going to be joining it like this. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and then complete the remaining rows that I was talking about, and then I'll come back to the video when I'm done so we can see how it looks at the end, and then we're gonna join the 2 sides here to be able to create our band. Okay, so I will see you guys in a bit. Okay, my lovelies, so I have gone ahead and added my final 5 rows here. So as you can see, this is now the wideness that I want for this headband. Okay, so this is the length of it. Let me just fix the camera here so you can see the full length if I can. Okay, so that's better. You can see the full length of it here. So I'm just gonna use my tape measure really quickly to show you guys the measurements that I ended up having here. So again, like I said at the beginning of the video, the circumference of my head is about 21 inches. And as you can see here, it is about 21 and a half, okay? If I put it, actually maybe, yeah, there you go. It's about 21 and a half, almost 22. Okay, and that is actually the actual circumference of my head is between 21 and 22. Okay, and for the wideness of this of this headband is about 4 inches. So as you can see here, and that's pretty much what I wanted with this. I'm making this a little bit bigger because I want to be able to wear it when I have my braids on, because it does increase the size if I'm wearing my ear warmers when I have my braids on. Okay, so this is pretty much it here. So altogether we did 13 rows. We started off with the foundation chain and then a single crochet stitch, and then we ended it on this side with the single crochet stitch. This is the inside of it. It's a little bit more smoother with these like little valleys here, and the sides are kind of protrudes a little bit. And then on this side is where we have the actual pattern, which is the front post, the front post double crochet that we did is what you see here, and this is what is creating this little bit of a textured side here. Okay, all right, so that's enough with talking about it. So we're gonna join it and we're gonna make it a twisted headband. So this is where I did my final row of single crochet here, and because I left a strong because I left a long tail on this side, I am going to cut this a little bit on the short side. But if I had left a smaller tail on this side, then I will make sure I cut this with a long tail left, so that we can use it to sew the work together. But because I already did this at the beginning here, I'm going to cut this a little bit shorter like that. Okay, and I'm just gonna fasten that guy right there, pull it, and there you go, that's done. And this is the trick here. We need to be able to make sure this is the outside of our headband and this is the inside of our headband. In other words, this is the side that is going to be touching your skin, and this is the side that is on the outside. Okay, and I'm telling you this because when we're doing the twist, when we're creating the twist effect of the headband, we need to be able to make sure we're doing it right. So we're going to fold it like this in a half, and we're going to fold it inside out. So this is the side that is going to be the inside, this is the side that is going to be the outside. So we're going to fold it like this, and now that we have it like this, we're going to fold this side into a half like that, and we're going to do the same with this side. We're going to fold it into a half like this. Okay, and now that we have done this, we're going to open each side, and then we're going to fit them in like this. So this is gonna go right there, and this is gonna go right here, and then we just kind of fix that guy like that. Okay, and so this is how we're going to be connecting the two sides together. We're going to be connecting by shutting this section here. I'm going to change it to go on this side because I'm right-handed, so I need to have this on the right hand side so that when I sew it together, I have it on the right side. I need to do this the right way, but I always make this mistake. I shouldn't have folded it before I put my yarn in the darning needle, but I'll figure these out really quick here. And let's do this again. I'm gonna hold it down there. I'm gonna take this yarn and put it in that space and then pull. There you go. But if you're lucky, do this before you fold your work, because then you don't have to worry about holding it the way I just did. Okay, so now that we have our work like this, we're going to sew it shut right here. Okay, and make sure you're holding it even. They're all kind of showing here, and you're just going to take your darning needle. It's already on this side, so you're just going to, we're going to leave this guy hanging here like this. You're just going to go into the very first stitch right here. Okay, right there, and you're going to pull this yarn like that, and it closes the first part there. And then you're going to go into the next spot. There's no actual exact stitches to go into, so you're just going to sew it as close as possible to each other, that way it shuts properly. And you're just going to continue to do this, and it's going to close it like that. Okay, and then you're going to go into the next, and you're going to do this all the way to the end. Make sure you're paying attention to make sure some of them are not sliding downwards. So you're just doing this until all the way to the end here. So I'll let you do that, because I know it's hard to concentrate while somebody's talking when you're doing something that you need to pay attention. So go ahead and do that, and when you're done, come back to the video and we'll pretty much flip our work over and be done. Okay guys, so I have gone ahead and connected it to the end here. So what I'll pretty much do here is I'm just gonna fasten these off and then pretty much take that off here. Okay, so I'm just gonna take my scissors, cut these anyway here. And what I usually do, again, if you are the kind of crocheter who weaves in your ends, go ahead and do that, please. But I tend to want to make it a little bit easier for me. I have never had any problems with my work coming apart. I've heard people saying they weave it in so that it prevents it from coming apart. I've never had that issue. So all I do is I just split my yarn into half, and I move one to another side of the stitch and keep one on one side. And then I just do 2 to 3, maybe 4, depending on how tight I want it, of these knots. And then I just cut it off. And because I split my yarn, the knot is like almost invisible. You can't even see that it's there. And then I just chop my yarn like that. And I will do the same with this side here. Okay. So this is just a way for me to simplify my life a little bit. I don't like to complicate things too much. Sometimes I weave things in, but it's very, very, very rare that I do that. But it's obviously your choice. If you want to weave it in, please go ahead and do so. If you want to follow my technique here, you're also more than welcome to do that. So I'm going to do 3 knots. And then just cut that off. Okay. All right. So that is pretty much it here. So we have shut it here. So now we just have to flip it to the side that is going to be the outside of the headband. Okay. And that is where our twist is now. And that's pretty much it. Okay. So let's just look at it a little bit here. So this is, and by the way, you can wear these headbands however you want. So you can either wear it so that this is a part that is right on your forehead, or you can put these on the side like this, so it's on the side, or you can wear it so that this side is on the back of your head and this is the front of your head. But either way, this is the nice pattern. It's unfortunate I used this color. I wish I had used a different color that would really show this. I will show the pictures that will come off a little bit better than this one. I have it on, and I have some natural light. So, but this is pretty much the headband right here. So like I said, I made this one a little bit chunkier because I want to be able to wear it when I have my braids on. So it's a little bit more wider as well. And I'm just going to show you guys quickly here another one that I have done in different colors. A good thing, the reason I'm showing you this is because this one is done with lightweight number 3 yarn, but everything else is the exact same. I started off with 71 chains, and then I did 13 rows. So exactly the same as this, but if you put them next to each other, you can see the difference here is quite obvious. This one is a lot smaller compared to this. This is because this is a lot chunkier yarn compared to this. But in terms of the size, they fit fine. Both of, like, this one fits a little bit tight. So this is probably one that I would wear when I don't have my braids on. And this is one I would wear, especially also when it's really cold, because this is also really thick and it's really warm compared to this one. This one is very, very thin, almost, you know, like if you pull it like this, you can almost see through it. Yeah, but that's pretty much it. So these are my 2 headbands here. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video with me. Thank you so much for watching it to the end, and thank you for always supporting me. And speaking of support, if you have not yet subscribed to your girl's channel, please go ahead and do so. I keep looking at my stats, guys, and every time I look at my stats, I see that about 96% of people who watch my videos are not subscribers, and only that tiny 3 to 4% are subscribed. So I really hope you can subscribe to the channel. It does help me, motivate me, and I would really appreciate it. Also, don't forget to give a thumbs up to the video. And if you have any questions, please make sure you comment in the box below. Ask any questions. Maybe say thank you for the video. Maybe say you appreciate it. Maybe say what you think I could have done differently. Just all of those things, okay? But with that all said, thank you so much again. And I will see you guys in my next video. Kwaheri.